experience the full power of the dark side. Good!
We will deal with your rebel friends soon enough.
What the? Misa back!
Prepare to fire!
Oh no!
Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Beyond the Stars for episode number 40, recorded on Wednesday, July 15th, 2015. I'm your host Fred, aka Sith Lord Corv. And rejoining me tonight, as Paige and I climb out of the trash compacting room, is the commander of Sith Intelligence, Agent Louis Olan.
Hello, Fred. Hello, everyone. Twitch, Hitbox, and YouTube. What is going on? And as always, it's time for tea with Sith Intelligence. And as a matter of fact, here we go.
How do we smell?
No, I'm actually going to take a sip. Hang on. Anyone see my biscuits?
Yeah, but how do I smell? Smell here.
Here, pull my finger.
I know, we've been in the trash room doing the GGC.
Oh, that... Ooh.
Oh, and also with me is Paige, aka Captain Kimbray.
I was tricked into going into the trash compacting room. I tried to crush everyone, but I was down there too, so it didn't work out.
And everything was sticky, and that thing crawling around in the garbage kept touching my leg.
That was minor.
Oh.
Gross.
And also, speaking of that thing crawling around in the garbage, hi, Treek. Oh, where's ID 10T?
You didn't leave him down there, did you?
Hang on. Get up here. Criminy. A little faster. There we go. Now go over there and loiter or whatever the hell you do. You can find out more about our show at StarWarsBeyond.com. We're available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SwillDoorNetwork.com. You can like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/StarWarsBeyondPodcast. And you can tweet us at StarWarsBeyond. Our usual record time is Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at hitbox.tv/StarWarsBeyond. And Paige, what's coming up in the Captain's Log tonight?
Coming up in the Captain's Log, we have our last week in game, discussion topic, planning for the future. Ooh. Agent Olan's intelligence report, where Lou will present Darth Plagueis, Part 3, plus the weekly winner of the Agent Star Wars Trivia Question of the Week, and also the grand prize winner will be selected tonight. And your feedback, get your hypercrate, ooh, everybody build up anticipation for that. And we'll be doing feedback in the community holo feed, as if there's ever any.
Why did planning for the future include a vintage ghost sound from Pac-Man?
I swear I heard Pac-Man noises today at work, but then again, I'm going crazy there, so.
And as always, folks, we do have something quick to mention, and I promise this will be quick, unlike the other times. First and foremost, happy birthday to Harrison Ford, who celebrated his birthday on the 13th of July.
Another smuggler will be celebrating their birthday on Sunday, July 19th. Guess who that is?
Someone that's going to be old.
No. Your captain.
As I said,
look at that.
old.
No, you're old.
Folks, please excuse us while we switch to a commercial on the HoloNet.
Of course I'm old. Look at me.
Treek, pee on him.
Do you know how many times the Empire has risen, beaten down the Republic, nearly vanished, and then came back in my lifetime alone? My best friends were Ricotta.
Wow. That's old. But moving on to the next one.
Talk badly about them now.
Too bad the Gree weren't in there, too. Next up.
Tentacle bastards.
This is coming from Eric Muska on the Dev Tracker, which was from earlier on today on 15th July. The Togruta will be in Game Update 3.3 on Tuesday.
No, wait for it.
That didn't even sound right.
Yeah, that sounds like you're trying to,
That was me letting out gas. What noise did you expect?
I am pleasantly surprised.
Oh, don't
I
say
am
that.
thankful that...
There's still time to F it up.
Woo! And as Eric says, we are pretty excited for all of you to get your hands on the new playable species. One thing that sets Togruta apart from other species is that due to their montrals, their head tails, any item worn in your head slot will be automatically hidden. By introducing a new playable species which hides its head slot, this gives us the potential to introduce other species down the line who have had head things going on.
Not that we will.
Let us know what you think of the Togruta in Game Update 3.3. Eric.
Montrals. Isn't that the place where Pelé lives?
No.
No.
No, that's Utah.
Oh.
Soon. Yes, Jay. Soon, TM. But he did give a Game Update 3.3, so unless anything changes, hopefully 3.3, we will see that new species released. And Fred, Paige, and I will be burning cartel coins to unlock the new species and try them out. And one more thing. What's that, Fred?
I was going to say, if everything stays on target, the Togruta should be coming next Tuesday. That's when Update 3.3 is slated to happen on July 21st.
Ooh, I should check how many cartel coins I have.
Not enough.
Oh no. I'll have enough. Don't you worry about that. And this is coming from the combat team by Eric Musco in the Dev Tracker, also from today. And they say, quote, with Knights of the Fallen Empire being just around the corner, we just wanted to give you all a chance to let us know if there are any particular set bonuses that you dislike and give you an opportunity to suggest your ideas for improvement. We are not looking to make drastic changes to the set bonuses currently in game. In fact, if the players of a certain class's role are happy with their current set bonuses, then we are happy to leave those set bonuses intact. Okay, so this is a side note for me, okay? The combat team is asking for feedback from all the advanced classes. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, etc., post them and let your thoughts be known, okay? What you're going to see in the Dev Tracker is basically the combat team essentially just asking every advanced class, all right, the mirror. Okay, so if it's the Juggernaut, Guardian, Marauder, Sentinel, and they're asking all the advanced classes, okay, if you don't like, or if you do like these particular set bonuses, the 2, 4, whatever, let us know what you want to change, let us know what you want to keep, and they'll look into it, because they are looking to make adjustments down the road.
I love that, though. If everybody's happy, we're perfectly content doing nothing.
Right. Which, with some feedback already, folks are like, really? Okay. So, if you really are unhappy or if you like where things are going, again, they're pointing out, they asked the player base, what do you want us to do? Like, what are you looking for? So, if you're unhappy with your advanced class and yet no one's posting anything, when Knights of the Fallen Emperor comes out, spare everyone your vitriol because you had an opportunity, you didn't take it. Don't want to hear it now.
If only people followed that ideology.
I mean, come on, they're asking everyone, tell us what you need, tell us what you want, tell us what you would like us to do, and they will work with us. So if you've had them, if you're building it up for them, post it, share the ideas, let everyone critique whatever, and give the devs ideas on what to do.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and plow right into the captain's log. Paige, what have you been up to?
Well, I did discuss my most recent gameplay on the GGC. What was that, episode 6?
7.
7. I was wrong. My bad. I haven't done anything new since then, except what Corv and Lou don't know is that the last time that we landed on Nar Shaddaa and I told them I needed to see a friend about a Tauntaun, I was actually gambling. And don't ask me where that money came from, because I'll have to shoot you with my blaster.
I was gonna say, is that the money that Fred paid you back with? That loan he asked you to front him?
It might have been. I might have pissed it away at the casino.
It don't matter to me. I don't know anymore. Hey, Lou, where's your wallet?
Oh, come on now.
You notice there's a hole in your pocket where your wallet normally is.
It's okay. I have 11 other cities. I can probably... Never mind.
Just saying, smugglers can sneak too.
I have not been reaching in his pants, though, so...
No, you have Treek for that. She does your dirty work.
She nibbled that hole in your pants.
We all know Lou can't sleep at night without his little Treeky bear.
Cheeky bear!
Oh my god, that might just be a thing, man.
That
could be a new mini pet in the game.
Treeky bear?
A Treeky bear.
I'm just picturing a horrible animatronic Treek.
Oh,
God, at Star Wars land.
Hey, you never know. Come on, Disney. They love their animatronics. Especially with Small World. They could do it.
Save us from this, Lou. What have you been up to?
Come on, you can have Treek in that pavilion going, it's a small galaxy after all. Exactly. In the Ewok language. Oh, man. Anyway, I started to level my combat meta commando. It got her up to level 11 before I left Ord Mantell. So after playing a medicine operative and corruption sorcerer for so long, and of course, I'm just starting to play other healing classes in this game, so yeah, I'm beginning to see where some differences in playstyle will pop in, where I'll have to make adjustments because I'm so used to playing those two particular ACs all the time. But it's not in a bad way. It's just like, hey, it's something new, something different, and I'm looking forward to it because I do like learning to play all the roles in the game. Hence why I buy all those character slots too, to make room for that. So no way am I making any sort of judgment on the commando. I'm just saying I'm looking forward to seeing how this class plays out and seeing what kind of playstyle I adapt to make the commando or the combat medic commando effective for me and fun for me. I'm also looking forward to obtaining 4X because ever since the game started, since day one, and I saw, a few days later, I actually saw a commando with 4X. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that's right, we get a robot companion. So I'm finally going to get 4X and use him with my commando because I also find his hyper-patriotic speeches, I find them funny. And he kind of reminds me of those corny announcers from the 70s. Yeah, I'm not old. From those game
70s.
From the game shows and stuff going, hey, look at that, we did a great job. Good going, partner.
What do we have for him, Core?
Exactly. Come on down.
He just reminds me of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, no. No, Buzz Lightyear is just gung-ho, in-your-face type, beat the crap out of, bad people thing. So 4X is more like the stereotypical, World War II propaganda type film where it's, God, country, mom, and apple pie.
He's kind of like...
Pie.
Kind of like one of those old superheroes, too, because he'll be like, I'm gonna get you, evildoer.
Yes. We had like that one scene from Family Guy where they actually got the narrator from Super Friends. And now over in Meg Ryan's pants, Rick Griffith's pants. That type of announcer voice, I should say.
Nobody wants to go there.
Yeah, nobody wants to go there, but that kind of announcer voice. If everyone remembers that one particular scene, Family Guy or the Super Friends. Anyway, I also created the Jedi Sage, and every time I'm on that character, I just thank the gaming gods for the spacebar options and 12 times XP for the class story.
Didn't you go dark side this time?
Yeah, but still, it's the console story, man. I mean, yeah, that's what makes it more fun, but still, in no way do I dislike the console story. I just don't find it as exciting as the other stories, so
Oh, it gets better in Chapter 3 when you're dark side.
Dark side? Okay. Well, then, good. I don't want to burn through the story because I actually do want to see dark side. So, but again, like I said in the past, the consular is not for me. I just don't find it that appealing. So, I'm just going to get through this, and hopefully I will, I will get this character up to 60, get it going, and at least learn how to, at least have a force healer for the Republic.
Well, there's another option, Lou. You can always just delete that character, and then when Fallen Empire comes out, use your free 60 to just completely mitigate that story.
No, but I want to play through it, though, because I actually want to learn how to heal with the Sage. Because I know how to heal with the Sork, so it's only right that I actually go through the story and actually learn how to play a Force Healer with the Sage. Because it can be fun. I do like healing my Sork, so I don't mind doing it. I want to see how it plays with the Republic and this character. Because I noticed that with my plethora of Imperial characters, I think it's about time I actually started, balancing out my Republic characters as well. Because if you ever see my character list, it's like 80-20. 80% Imperial characters, 20% Republic. And this is why I had to buy the character slots, because that's right. All 10 out of 12 slots are all Imperial, and I only have 2 spots left for Republic characters. Okay, let me buy that slot. Let me go to the GTN, buy that. Open up more spaces here and there.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I have all the slots unlocked that I can possibly unlock, and I'm at 80% capacity on 2 different servers.
Yeah.
And most of them are imps.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt it's going to be like, you're going to need all 16. Just open up 16 slots automatically. Just buy the extra slots so you have 16 spaces open, because I'm going to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, and I think the next one, though, that I do want, because like I said before, I'm swapping out. Like every week I try working on a couple of different ones at a time. So this past week I just worked on my Commando and the Sage. So what I really do want to go back to working on my Mercenary, though. My Mercenary Faye. Just like in Cowboy Bebop, if you know what that anime series is. And actually, my Scoundrel. Because I just created her. She's still level 1. Like, I literally just created her in the character screen, and that was it. Just reserve her name.
What are you trying to say? You don't like scoundrels? I'm a scoundrel.
No. Hey, I'm a gunslinger, so I like the smuggler class. Because I think the smuggler, at least for me, has some of the best one-liners in this game.
I know, I'm so hilarious.
With the reactions that she can get or give, like, yes, this is what we want from a wisecracking, crazy starship pilot who also happens to be, like, probably the fastest draw in the galaxy.
I thought that was Vex.
Well, consider what you're... hey, what's up with this?
Hey, it's on the starter planet. That's
Okay.
not much of a spoiler.
Hey, there are some people coming into the game who have not played Smuggler.
That's okay, because when those people finally come to the game, they're going to start at level 60.
And go through the default, or do you want to answer some questions? Like in Mass Effect 2.
I don't think it's going to be that way this time. Like I said before, I think that if you are a brand new 60, you just go through a story where you didn't do any of that stuff before. You don't know any of those previous companions. The only companions you're going to get are the ones you meet along the way.
Mm.
Because they're being very meticulous about not letting you play through that former story. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, and I believe I saw a tweet earlier today from, on the forums. Someone was posting a link toward, what's her name? Lady Insanity, where, from what she understands, I think it's going to be more like if you were if you're a Juggernaut. Okay, I think the assumption is going to be like it's going to be assumed that you went dark side. The choices, if you play Guardian, obviously it's going to be you went light side, and so forth. If you get that fresh level 60, okay, that's her understanding so far from what she's heard, from the devs that she's spoken to. I think that's what it's going to be like. But again, things can change. So if it does, or if something starts different, let us know. That'd be interesting.
That'll disappoint me if they do that.
Yeah, me too. Because considering my agent, my operative is light side, and if they say, well, because she's Imperial, blah blah blah, they may say, oh well, she went dark side. Well, no, I didn't play her that way. No,
You're right. You didn't play her at all. And if they're going to do that, are they going to give you credit for all the light side, dark side choices and put it in your alignment bar?
Well, see, that's the thing. So again, maybe some further follow-ups or questionnaires would help clarify that.
I just like the idea of you starting off, like, if you're a Jedi Knight and you start at level 60, you're not the dude that killed the Emperor, you're just a Jedi Knight that happened to be frozen in carbonite. Lana Beniko wakes you up, and your story starts from there.
And then, but somehow you say, Lana, your character face is approved. It just took another expansion to fix it.
Hello, I'm Lana Beniko.
What is she, suddenly Austin Powers? Hello, love. Groovy.
With that car horn that he has. She has that same sound effect.
Criminy.
So that wraps up my gameplay week. Fred, what were you up to?
Shagging on the carpet.
Oh, wow.
Wow, just dropped the mic.
He just dropped the mic. Shagging on the carpet. Drop the mic. I'm done, folks.
Sorry.
And that wraps up episode 40.
Sorry, guys.
Corv out.
I was... Get the mouse behind the microphone.
Drop the house.
Just a trick. So basically, I went to the casino as well, and I spent $200K just derping around trying to get the full Kingpin outfit. Managed to get everything but the pants, and that just spent $200K, so I guess I'm doing okay with that. And I've been starting to gather and collect resources for when the Togruta finally comes out, so that I can make one and be set for a while. And I'm also trying to decide whether I want this character to be Imperial or Republic. They're going to be a Force user for sure. I'm just not sure which way I'm going to go with that. And when I added this bullet point, it was before the announcement that the Togruta will actually be coming next week. So I need to expedite my plans a little bit and actually invest some thought into figuring out who I want to play and how I want to play them.
Yeah, but don't you have enough character slots to go for both factions?
I do, but
or all your allotments on Shadowlands taken already?
I have slots open on both servers. That's one of the reasons why I play on two servers, is so that I wouldn't overload one. But I want to see what I'm dealing with as far as how the species goes, and right now I'm just planning for one.
Okay.
And I'm leaning toward going Republic with the Togruta just because of my next bullet point here, where I went back to the original Sith Lord Corv with intentions on leveling him up and getting him up to speed. I haven't even taken this character through McKeb, and he's wearing a full set of 126 purples with T&E's weaponry.
Ooh, boy.
I'm not sure if I'll stick with getting him up to speed or not, but I kind of want to.
You should, man. It's your namesake in the game.
Well, not only is it my namesake, but it was literally my first character in SWTOR, and it's very rare that I actually have an urge to play my first character in any game after I've been playing for a while. And I think that I'm going to do that and kind of get Corv up to speed and have him be my Imperial solo main for when I'm not playing with Paige.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should, man, because, my operative is my very first character. And, dude, I'm on her all the time.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was the one that started it all for me, and I'm thinking about going back and spending some time on him and getting him up to speed so he can be my first character that goes solo through the Knights of the Fallen Empire story. And then, meanwhile, I'll level up Republic side on the Togruta so that I have a solo main on each faction, essentially.
See, I'm the same way, Leo. My first character is still the one that... No, wait, who did I make first? Never mind. It was my second character that's my main, because I really didn't like my warrior.
Ooh, yeah, because my operative is my first, and my sentinel is my second, my marauder is my third.
I think mine went...
No, you had your Inquisitor first.
Oh, it was? Okay, so my Inquisitor was my first and is my main. So I think it went Inquisitor, Warrior, Smuggler, and then I think Operative. Or Agent.
Yeah, because you were playing your Assassin for a while, and then you were just like, I wonder what my Warcraft character would look like if I remade her in SWTOR.
Yeah, I was playing my assassin for a while, and then someone in a guild that I was in, like, spoiled the story for me, and I got so pissed that I wouldn't play anymore. I took a break for a long time.
Like 6 months?
So mad. I was pissed. Because I had no idea what was going to happen. I was livid. So
And
salty.
it seemed like it was a spoiler for the end of the story. Where I'll basically tell you, like, I was playing SWTOR before Paige started, and Corv was my first character that I took through, and he was obviously a Sith warrior. Well, at the end of the story, you know, in Chapter 3, possibly the end of Chapter 2, I don't remember where it happens, but Barriss betrays you and you end up fighting him at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was something that I didn't see coming, because even though I know Sith have their infighting and stuff, I didn't know what to expect in the Old Republic. Well, then, when we were playing on Tatooine, and someone in our guild, nonetheless, actually said something about having to fight Zash, and Paige was on her assassin, she just got so pissed because she found out that Zash was going to betray her, and she just wouldn't play. And at the time, it seemed like it was going to be toward the end of the story, just like it was with the Barriss thing and the warrior story, but no, that was just the end of Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Like, I'm normally not the type of person that, like, goes off in chat. I'll just, like, ignore somebody. I went off on this person. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I was so mad. And that was supposedly, like, one of the rules of the guild, is that you weren't allowed to spoil the story, because the game was still new, and so many people didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, I don't think the person was trying to spoil the story. They were just asking for help for a fight, but it was so hard back then to ask for help and not spoil something for somebody.
Just made me so mad. I'm just thinking about it makes me mad.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, they could have just not been a noob and actually leveled up and did their own fight. I mean, that's what I did. Anytime I got to a part of one of my class stories that I couldn't solo, I knew I need to go out and do planetary quests and come back later.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did too. I was like, oh, let me go back and level some more. Maybe gain another level too, see how it goes.
Because the game was brand new. I wasn't going to ask people to come in there and potentially spoil a story. Mm-hmm. Now, what I would do, if I really needed help with something, and I was trying to rush on something, like, for whatever reason. Oh, I remember. Because I thought that Jaisa was actually romanceable, I wanted to get her on my Sith warrior, like, as soon as possible. So when I got to the point of doing the Jaisa fight, he was way under-leveled for it. So I actually asked a higher-level Sith warrior to come help me, because they'd already been through that part of the story. But I wouldn't intentionally spoil any stories for anybody when the game was brand new, because, you know, I wouldn't want that done to me.
Right.
And for the most part, I got through all the stories without having any of them spoiled for me. It was just funny at the time, though, because Paige literally quit the game for 6 months because of a spoiler that was only like 2 steps in the quest ahead of where she was.
Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. Ugh.
No, she didn't. Well, it was like a whole planet ahead, because we were on Tatooine at the time, and that happens after Alderaan, so she was almost to that point. But she quit for 6 months, but she eventually came back.
I know you're all so happy about that.
Somebody got to fly the ship and drop microphones.
Boom. I'm out.
So, let's go ahead and move into our discussion topic then. Alright, so we have a nice idea of several things that are coming down the pipe soon. So what are we preparing to do for these changes? Looking at you, Lou. What are you looking forward to, and how are you preparing for it?
Well, one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to, since I'm actually one of those proponents in the forums who's actually been asking for more story content for the game, obviously. But, you know, I will say at least the past year or so, not very optimistic that they would give us more story content, but now we know they are. Okay, we've heard it coming from multiple sources from BioWare saying, yes, this is going to be, you know, one of the new focal points of the game. Like, they are going to go back and focus on story. Okay? Maybe not in the way we all hoped, you know, or maybe in some people's eyes, maybe too much emphasis being placed back on story, not enough in the MMO version, what have you, but regardless, for me, I'm looking forward to seeing the possibilities that are coming up now with the companions. Okay, especially now the fact that they've stated that yes, we may have or we may encounter the old companions that we see from the 1 to 50 story. Okay, there's a possibility of having them regain. You can regain them, gain them back, lose them. All right. For a lot of folks who may not remember, originally before the game came out, okay, in beta, you had the ability or the capability. You could lose your companions. You could kill off your companions, or you could lose them, drive them away permanently.
Bye-bye, Quinn.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Zalek. Good for
No,
him.
not Zalek.
He does nothing. I never see anyone use him. I'm sorry, Lou. Go ahead.
That's
I
okay.
use him.
And for a lot of folks, okay, they were totally unprepared for that, which kind of explains why BioWare did that last minute thing where they switched that. Okay, they took it away from us. Okay, because people who were players who weren't prepared for that were complaining, "Oh my God, blah, blah, I didn't know I could do that," so forth, what have you. But they changed it.
They could have just added warnings to those choices, saying if you do this, you will lose this companion.
Right. However, they didn't do it. But then the solution they implemented, they locked the companions into roles. Meaning, okay, originally too, hey, Kira didn't have to be a DPS character for you. Okay, she could have been whatever you wanted her to be. All right.
Now, if you made Kira into, say, a healer, how did that work? Did she have a gun, or would she just start healing you with her double-bladed lightsaber?
Well, no, it was just. I'm trying to remember. I think it was like a kind of like a kit that they had. Okay. Kind of like oh gosh, I'm trying to remember back then. It was a kit you could swap between your companions, saying, okay, you know what, I want, I want this character, this NPC to be my healer or my DPS or my tank, and you could swap it out, as opposed to what we have now, to where Campbell is always going to be your tank, okay, Jace is always going to be DPS melee companion, what have you. All right.
Yeah, but see, like, I pictured the companions as they currently are, so I'm asking, when the game was structured like that in beta, if you made Kira into a healing companion, did she still have a double-bladed lightsaber? And
yeah, when I used it, yeah. It was just like she became a sage. That's all.
so she would actually use force powers to heal?
Yeah, Kira, of course.
I'm just asking because we don't have any companions in the game at all that use force powers to heal.
Yeah. She became, because she had the kit, she became that. Those are the powers that she would use, okay? So think of it as a healing kit, DPS kit, tank kit. Kind of like the companion sets you see now, you have them for, you can get doing the weeklies. Okay, and the character, the companions would gain those abilities and use them. So it made it easier, at least for me, for those, we found it easy to swap out, people you wanted to keep, people you didn't want to keep. Very easy. And very, at least, again, always gave the player more options as to what they want to do, what they couldn't do. Okay, or what they didn't want to do. So for players for example, Paige doesn't like Mako, okay, and Pele, like me, I can't stand Skadge.
I really hate Mako.
I can't stand Skadge. Oh my god, yeah, I definitely put him in the airlock too. So I want to see. I'm curious to see exactly how when they say, hey, the choices you made in companions, if you're not starting at fresh level 60, they will matter. You will see the impact in the story. And I'm looking forward to see how they've translated that into and spread it out amongst the 9 chapters, I think, or 9 episodes for the first installment coming out with Knights of the Fallen Empire. Okay, and again, as I mentioned before, early today I was reading on the forums, the general discussion forums, to where someone had linked a YouTube commentary from Ash or Lady Insanity, and from what I gather, she's understanding that I believe it's at least an hour's worth of story content from the get-go that we're getting. I think for episode 1, chapter 1, whatever they're calling it now. So I want to see exactly what they've done. Okay, how are they going to introduce that into our storylines? Obviously, we've been asleep in Carbonite. Years have passed, and now we're going to see, okay, how are they going to introduce us to that shock, so to speak, of we lost people, we may not have lost people, regain contact, that so forth. That's one of the main things I'm looking forward to.
Well, the Carbonite thing is going to take place. You wake up break out of the carbonite and wake up at Chapter 3. So Chapter 1 and 2 is going to be how you end up in the carbonite. I mean, they already showed a little preview that it's Lana Beniko that breaks you out of the carbonite in the beginning of Chapter 3.
Right, and the thing is, I think what the understanding is too is that the initial parts are going to be like the tutorial, so to speak, to allow for new players who are starting with a fresh level 60, and maybe refresh those for players who left and are not coming back. But for those who stuck around, it's going to be old, same old, same old. We'll be used to it. We'll know what we're doing. We just have to go through it. That's all. It's no big deal for me.
On every character.
I'm sorry, but if I wake up and Lana Beniko is the first face I see, I'm gonna be like, just put me back under.
Don't worry, you won't see her because when you first come out of carbonite stasis, you don't see anything.
I said the first face I see. Eventually, I didn't say instantly. As soon as I open my eyes, I mean,
why can't I see?
Hopefully, if you
have
hear her voice,
sickness.
if you hear her voice, hopefully you'd be smart enough to wander in the opposite direction.
My lord, I'm like, oh god, no, you again! Get me out of here! Why can't I see?
I think my eyesight's getting better. It's getting a lot brighter.
Sure is.
You're not missing anything. I used to live here, You're gonna die here,
I would have liked it better if it was HK51 that breaks you out of the carbonite.
That would be cool.
BA, oh my god, I would love
Master,
that so much.
I've run out of undesirables, Quill. You were the last thing frozen on this ship, and there's just a bunch of bodies all over the place with carbonite chambers everywhere.
Yeah, that would have been cool. It was HK51.
Yeah, he's literally going through unthawing everybody, and when they're not you, he just puts a round in them.
Yeah, he just executes them. Oops, not the one. Not the meat bag, sorry.
Maker cursed you because you're not my master.
Statement, you're not my master.
Apology.
Oh my God.
Sorry that you're not my master. Farewell. Oh, that would have been an awesome cutscene. Actually see HK just walking through a pile of corpses until he finds you and thaws you out.
And then he's like, what should we do with the rest of them? And I'm like, kill them?
Just leave them alone? What have you?
No, they're already dead by the time he gets up to you.
Yes, yeah,
well, what if you're not the last one? What if he finds you on, the 7th person, and then, there are 5 more people, and he's like, what should I do about those guys? And I'm like, kill them.
He takes care of them while you're coming out of your hibernation stages. You're just crawling around on the floor and hearing blaster shots all over.
What's going on? Oh my god, I can't see. What is that smell? Is Treat here too?
No, I can see that. He thaws you out, and you're like, oh, what's going on, HK? And he's like, hang on a moment, Master. There's still some life forms. I'm going to overload their life support.
Oh, wow, that'd be so bad.
You actually see HK carrying your character over his shoulder and just walking off the ship.
Yeah, that would be hilarious for some body type 4 dude.
Oh my god, yeah.
HK could lift a body type 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it would be funny to see.
It'd be funny to see it actually being done in the cinematic.
Yeah.
It'd be funnier to see Talos Trellick rescue a body type 4, carry him over his shoulder.
I'm getting rid of him too. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Hi.
Well, also one of the other things I'm looking forward to, like we just mentioned before, in the earlier on, was the devs, the combat team, asking for feedback on the set bonuses. Hey, especially that, hopefully, if they do take our feedback seriously, and they'll make adjustments for those players who have asked for it. I'm looking forward to see what they do with that too, with that feedback, saying, hey, you asked for it, players gave you their opinions, please act on it. Especially if certain ACs feel like the set bonuses aren't working for them properly, or just for some reason out of sync, or just not quote unquote right. Hopefully the team will take that seriously and actually say, hey, you know what, you're right. Because we play in Never Neverland on the dev server.
Never Neverland.
Again.
That's where nobody ever levels up.
it's just / whatever. And they get it. But that's one thing too. I mean, again, we've asked BioWare and the devs and everyone to be more communicative, and for them to come out, or at least the combat team to come out and say, hey, you know what, we want your feedback now. We want to see what you people think, what you want to keep, what you want to do, what you want to change, and hoping that the players will respond to this, put out their... Over the years, I've seen some really great ideas come across all the advanced class forums that were never, even looked at. Okay? I don't really believe in say, we looked at it. Like, no. If you had, you would have seen this is a great idea. Or you would have said something. Hey, hell yeah, that's pretty good. We should mention that.
Yeah, we read everything. We just don't reply to anything.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, hopefully they will take that. They will start, building more of that trust between the devs and the player base. Okay, and that's just a couple things off the top of my head of what I'm looking forward to that's coming in the pipe.
Well, as much as I hate to take a page out of Paige's book over there.
Wow.
I do have to say that I don't count on much when it comes from dev interaction like that. They just don't do it. But I do want to interject this too. Everybody's like, oh, cool, I get to pick companions and get rid of others. I assume this is going to be a one-for-one trade where, like we were kind of talking about off-air, like or it might have been earlier in the show, I can't even remember at this point. But where we're talking about Darth Malgus, and if he is back, he may be a melee tank companion option. I think if you're a Jedi Knight, you either get the option keep Lord Scourge or get Darth Malgus. If you're a Sith Warrior, you get the option keep Brune Mark or get Darth Malgus. And I think it's a one-for-one choice like that. Like, you trade that companion for one of the same type, and if that is the case, there's 5 companions that we know nothing about. And you may hate them more than the companion you're planning on getting rid of.
Right. Oh, and for those who may not know, we're all talking about a particular trailer, from the San Diego Comic-Con that they showed. If you haven't seen it, okay, you can see on Dolphy's site, she has it, and pretty much it's a cut version, or the unreleased version.
It was a
scrapped
yeah,
version.
It was a scrapped concept that Marshall Carr, at Darth Pops on Twitter, recorded with his phone at Comic-Con, and Dolphy posted it. And basically, it's the sacrifice trailer, like normal. Only when it gets to the point where you see the brothers set down the lightsabers and the flags, instead of that, they come trudging into the throne room carrying what looks like a casket, and then when it gets closer, you realize they're carrying a carbonite chamber, and when they set it down, it does the dramatic, panning up over the person that's frozen, and when it gets to the face, you realize it's Darth Malgus. And the crowd went wild when it got to that part.
Heck yeah, because that actually does bring a lot of possibilities too. Where, obviously, when you take Darth Malgus down. Okay, for those who don't realize that, just like in any of the Star Wars movies, or even in the cartoon series, somehow they always find a way to come back. Look at you, Darth Maul.
I told Chill about how if you do the Flashpoint now, Darth Malgus actually dies at your feet, and he's like, yeah, but we all know the canonical version is that he fell down the shaft there. I don't care what the Johnny Come Latelys experience now.
Yeah, he did say that. Johnny Come Lately.
Or in fact, in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, when you watch the end of Phantom Menace, and Ben kind of chops Darth Maul in half, and he falls down the power shaft. Yet somehow, years later in the animated series, he made it back. He's like Humpty Dumpty. Somebody did put him back together again, and he's moving around.
Isn't that non-canonical now?
Gosh, it's so hard.
That's not canon.
Yeah. So many things have been done to the Star Wars universe sometimes. It's just so hard to keep track of. But just realize that, how Star Wars has had a history of, somehow bringing back dead characters to life. Kind of makes you wish George R. R. Martin would do that with Game of Thrones, but whatever.
I'm convinced that nobody actually dies in the Star Wars universe. No Force user.
Obviously not. You know,
You become
except-
one with the Force until you choose not to be anymore.
or you always come back as a Force ghost if you're a Jedi for some reason. You've all mastered that power. You come back, or you can project yourself back to help out others. What's another? I think another change I'm looking forward to is just to see. Obviously, the new 5 levels are coming up. I am really looking forward to see exactly how this new faction plays out. Because my initial reaction when I saw the very first trailer was like, what in the hell is going on? Who are these people and where the hell are they coming from in the galaxy? So definitely one of the things I'm looking forward to as well is just seeing the story behind this faction, okay? Seeing where they're coming from, what exactly are we dealing with? Okay? Who are we trying to fight? And what's their vendetta, if any, against the Empire and the Republic? You know, which drives them to this, which drives now to why we have Knights of the Fallen Empire. Okay, what has happened to set this off, to make this new leader come out of the shadows, so to speak, and now take on two of the most powerful factions in the galaxy. So I'm very interested in that. Definitely. I want to see how this unfolds.
Just saying, but I think that if he wasn't in Carbonite, there's no way that those two little punks would have taken Darth Malgus. He'd have killed both of them. Darth Malgus is a beast, and if you've ever read the Deceived book, you could see he could take a beating. I don't know what scrap heap they bought that carbonized Malgus off of.
They found him an old sand crawler in Tatooine. He's like, where'd you find this? Oh, we found it in the sand somewhere.
It's like somebody just dug him out of a pit and froze his body or something, and they're like, oh, here you go, Darth Malgus in Carbonite. And the Emperor's like, the Emperor of the Infinite Empire, he's like, oh, thank you, my sons, because I was just a little bit late at getting the $35 collector's edition at Kmart.
Or, I really think it would have been nice if they had kept that in with the trailer, because I think it would have been a nice, try to put it in words here, a nice focal point to be driven as to why they're taking both on. Maybe they want something from Darth Malgus, okay? Maybe the Sith Empire has him in Carbonite, like they found him, whatever, they kept him in Carbonite, but they're holding him aside somewhere, okay? Because they don't want him out again, obviously, because what happens in False Emperor. And so what happens is that Infinite Empire is taking on their empire, get him Malgus.
He's not the hero that we deserve, but he's the hero that we need.
Yeah, exactly. He's the hero we need. And the Republic finds out, and now the knights that you see, or the Republic army and the knights you see in the trailer, release trailer, are trying to stop you or stop the twins from bringing bringing Malgus back to their father. I think that would have been real. That would have explained a lot if that was the case. Where if Malgus is going to be a central figure in this story, okay. So whatever side has him, okay. Whether, like I said, one possibility where the Sith Empire has Malgus, they found his body, semi still alive, but they froze him in Carbonite because he's a threat to them. Or maybe the Republic found him, he healed, and because the Republic has this aversion to executing really, bad people, they kept him alive, but kept him in Carbonite so he doesn't harm anybody. All right, and the Empire finds out, and they're trying to get him back, while the Infinite Empire steps in and goes, you know what? Like Fred said, he's the hero we need. We're going to steal him from both of you.
No, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe for a second that footage was cut, because blur cinematics are expensive as heck to make. I think that they made that footage on purpose, and I believe that Darth Malgus is going to be in this expansion somehow.
Like I said, I wouldn't mind in the least. He is, at least to me, he's one of my favorite characters.
No, kill off Satil Shan for a couple expansions and bring him back.
You might be making a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
Who cares? We already see what happens to that family when you let them live.
Oh. Hey, well, one is helpful, though. I mean, he is pretty good at cybersecurity break-ins and stuff like that. He has his uses.
Yeah, arguing with the voice of the Emperor, Chancellor Suresh, about bombarding Zyos.
Yeah, well, the Emperor beat it to it, so.
And then he just vanishes without an explanation.
Dun, dun, dun.
To be continued. And then they showed the next trailer clip where you see them carrying in another carbonized person as Theron Shawn somehow.
No. I don't think that would work though, because remember, as we see, as they explained already, Olan Benico is the one who takes you out of Carbonite. So
yeah, but where's Theron? He could have been in Carbonite.
True, but I really think because both those characters, NPCs, have some really good interaction between the two of them, and I really think it would set the story up better if they were both unfrozen and both trying to find your character, actively seeking you out, and maybe however the story writers did it, it's Lana Benico that thaws you out, I should say.
Well, I think that Lana is going to become a potential companion.
Well, and that would definitely satisfy a lot of fans who are asking for both Lana Benico and Theron Shawn to be made available as new companions for us.
I don't think it's going to happen with Theron.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you're going to make Lana Benico made available as an NPC, companion.
This is BioWare, and that would be the logical and fair choice, and I don't see them doing it. Theron has too much pull with the SIS. He's like the head of their intelligence agency, and
so is Lana.
but the Empire has Darth Maul, and I firmly believe that Chancellor Suresh is going to be corrupt, and the Republic is going to need Theron in an upcoming story. Plus, if you looked at the Knights of the Fallen Empire website, Lana Benico was listed on there as a pivotal person. Theron Shawn wasn't mentioned at all.
Not yet. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think it's going to happen because, they'll be like, oh, well, because of his goofy hair, it would clip into his face, and we just can't have that. Running around with that foghorn leghorn do.
Maybe he died.
I don't want Theron to die. He was a cool character, but I don't want him as a companion.
So he ain't that cool.
No, I want them to
would
introduce some new people that we don't know.
True, but then again, if you're going to allow Imperial players, at least from what I'm thinking, to have the ability to gain Lana as a companion, whether you're a bounty hunter, operative, warrior, inquisitor, okay.
But it's not just Imperials. It would be Republic can get her too.
True, but then I think for the Republic, I think a lot of players who are Republic, would like to see Theron Shawn as their choice.
Well, they can want in one hand and see what BioWare gives them in the other.
Shaduki in the other.
Because BioWare, how many things have people said that they wanted or would make them happy that BioWare does not give them? Just because it seems logical and right, I don't believe that they're going to do it.
True, but then again, we still have some months before Fallen Empire comes out. So, again, I think this is feedback that they should hear. And I think as the weeks come across, they should say, hey, you know what? More information. Because remember, they said they would release information bit by bit and keep us constantly updated. And I think in the near future, we will see Theron Shawn as you mentioned before, he's going to play. We'll be updated as to saying he will play a pivotal role in Knights of Fallen Empire, and maybe give the public players a hope that Republic players have asked for a new companion. Theron Shawn is going to be one of the new ones you can get.
Or when Lana unthaws you, she's going to tell you how Theron tragically died trying to help her reach you. Because 5 years went by while you were frozen. They were probably both looking for you, and something tragic probably befell him. Or he had to lock himself in the murderous torture chamber in order to unlock the door for her to get to you. Sacrificed himself along the way.
Or HK shot him.
Because he was in the carbonite chamber right before yours.
or he does what's the name of that that one monk from the Diablo series, Tal Raza. He does a Tal Raza. He'll hold the Emperor's soul prisoner in his own body.
HK unthaws him. Not the master, not the master.
Oh my.
Hitting him with the frying pan.
Jeez.
How many more references can we throw in this episode?
I don't even know.
All right. So then, what are other changes that we think are coming through? Like that we're looking forward to. What other things are we
my
planning
turn?
for?
Well, even if we did lump Theron in there as a possible companion, that means Lana, Theron, and let's just lump Nico in there because we don't know whether he counts as one of the 5 or not. We've never got confirmation on that. So there's at least 2 companions that we know nothing about. Possible.
As far as like what I'm doing to prepare myself for these changes, absolutely nothing. I'm just sitting and waiting. I plan on making my Tigruta as soon as it becomes available. And as far as like preparations, I see like nothing I could be doing to prepare myself. I'm just waiting on it. I might be considering which companion I don't want around anymore. Mako. But I'm not really making any preparations. I'm just sitting and waiting for the expansion to come.
Well, I will say this too. Part of my preparation process, especially now that we got the announcement that the Tigruta will be coming next Tuesday, I'm probably going to be, well, not playing the game, but I'm going to be scaling back the time that I play, kind of giving my body that little bit of refresh time in my mind, so when I get in there on Tuesday, I'm focused and able to play that Tigruta, because I want to do all the planetary stories and everything, like cover everything on the way up, because if that's going to be my counterpart to Corv on the Republic side, I want to do everything.
Yeah, I understand. I have thought about, what my Tigruta will be, what server that she'll be on and everything. And as far as like my other characters, they're just going to kind of chill. Like, sit right here, wait for the carbonite. There you go.
Well, that only works for the ones that are already level 60. You got to push the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that concerned about it. We were talking about what we were looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the story the most. I know that's what they're focusing on this time around, and that's good for me because that's what I need from this game. I've said it before 100 million times. I don't PvP in the game anymore. I play another game for that. So this is my game for story, and I really hope that they deliver when it comes to that. It seems like they're going to. I'm excited about, the potential of having new companions, getting rid of some of the ones I don't like. But at the same time, I do like some of my guys, and I'm definitely plan on keeping them. I mean, I wouldn't replace Zalek with, Lana. That wouldn't happen, even though Zalek's completely useless to me. At least he's not less than useless.
Wow.
I ain't even mad.
Well, I would argue with you, but since the doors in Star Wars go sideways and they don't swing open, there's no need for a doorstop like Lana's face.
Oh!
Boom! Drop mic out.
You already did that earlier.
I really didn't mean to do that.
Well, another thing I think as another supporting change, hopefully that they're looking at to do in the future, is that even though they said they're not doing anything really for GSF, okay, what else? But the operations, like the new ops, flashpoints that we look forward to, this going forward. I think this presents an opportunity to where, if this, when this does well, okay, if players really do sync and they like what they see in Knights of Fallen Empire, I think it'll also help maybe give BioWare a chance to say, hey, would this be a good opportunity now to introduce a third faction to the game? Okay, because now you have, what do you have? You would have the Republic, Sith Empire, Infinite Empire. Okay, could players switch allegiances down the line? That's a possibility. Or, not something right away, but something that BioWare would put on a wall of crazy. Say, hey, you know what? At some point in the game's development, could we introduce the third faction into the storyline, into the overall storyline? Because when you read the books, the graphic novels, the comics, when you watch the movies, what do you always see in the background? Okay, you're always going to have neutral parties in there. Okay, episodes 4 through 6. What do you see? Especially New Hope. Okay, who do you see when Ben and Luke enter the cantina? You're going to see smugglers. Okay, criminals working for the Hutts, maybe not working for the Hutts, working for the syndicates. Okay, bounty hunters, obviously, playing both sides, playing whatever side they want to play. All right, could this be something that they look to add later on because they've introduced this new party who's obviously taking on both factions? Could we see them now as a potential third faction that players can join in the future?
I will tell you this. I would almost bank that if Knights of the Fallen Empire does well, and it's a huge success for BioWare, that I think that the next expansion we will see them add a new class, because adding an actual new class will be a lot easier when they can just start at level 60 and only have to go through the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline.
Right. It's similar to what players have seen if they play World of Warcraft when Blizzard introduced the Death Knight. Okay, hopefully better results when it first came out. But, that's something they could do, and I think it would, it would give players again more options and give new players something to try out, and give returning players. They don't have to go through the quote-unquote grind of going or taking their level 30 character wherever they left off before they left Tor and now they're back. Hey, you know what? They may not have to go through that. They'll just say, hey, you know what? I just want to see the game as it is now, going forward. And boom, they start off, Knights of the Fallen Empire level 60. Here you go. Have at it.
Yeah, and I see that as a real possibility now. Before, advanced classes would have been their only viable option. But now, if they start at level 60, I could see them adding brand new classes.
Right.
Well, I think it's time that we move into the Star Wars recommendation of the week. Which, Paige, what do you have for us this week?
For those interested in actually getting a look at the recommendation of the week, I will be posting a link with a photo on the Facebook wall once the show goes to iTunes. This week I have something from Etsy.com. I was looking for something that I might want for my birthday, and I did find something. And it only comes in children's sizes, but I think I might be able to fit into a boy's extra large. Just gonna throw that out there for anybody who might want to buy it for me.
You want a tricycle?
No. I really do think I could fit into a boy's extra large. Size matters not. Anyway, the shirt has an Ewok on it, and it says Yub Nub. But it is customizable.
Ew!
What?
That's terrible.
So freaking cute. I can't even stand it. I need it so bad. It looks exactly like Drake. Anyway, you can customize this Star Wars t-shirt with your child's name, age, or a fun phrase, or my name, age, and a fun phrase like Yub Nub. It's a colorful, personalized clothing, features a unique digital printing process. There is no stitching or applique or iron-on used, so your personalization is an integrated part of the print dyed directly into the fabric, and that's super comfy and safe against sensitive skin that children might have, or sensitive skin like the captain might have. I need this so bad.
This is almost as bad as that lightsaber you wanted to give Jay.
You found that. I did not.
Moving on.
I thought it was just a lightsaber.
Well,
if you're gonna put Treek on a shirt like that, I would get it from the cutscene when you first get her, and she kicks that, or she hits that one human male in the family jewels when she passes by.
I want an HK t-shirt.
That'd be pretty rad.
Alright. But this is the big week. We have the grand prize winner of the Agent Olan's trivia question of the week, where Lou is going to select that live on the show. And that is coming up right after this. Lou, what do you got for the intelligence report?
This week in the intelligence report, it's part 3 for Darth Plagueis, that Seeker of Immortality. And this week we pick up with training Darth Sidious. Soon after the murder of his family, Sidious began the first stages of his training, designed to break him as an individual in order to remake him as a Sith under Darth Plagueis. The Master promised to the apprentice that, although his training would be severe, they would be free of the rule of 2. Breaking the cycle enacted by Darth Bane, They would neither harbor any secrets from each other nor experience any jealousy or mistrust in their relationship, thus serving the dark side in concert. Sidious learned from Plagueis over the course of decades, during which Plagueis taught his apprentice everything he knew to prevent the power he had amassed from being lost forever. During Darth Sidious's training, Plagueis gave his apprentice access to his Sith holocrons. Plagueis' lessons involved forcing Sidious to face his fears, denying him pleasures, and taking from him the things he loved. He taught Sidious that emotions such as envy and hatred, though necessary to master the dark side, were simply means to the end of casting aside usual notions of morality for a greater goal. Plagueis also lectured his apprentice on the means of taking power, with the eventual goal of control over the galaxy. Sidious would not kill his master, however, until he understood the lessons of Plagueis and had become powerful enough to defeat him. And now we move on to the assassination of a character named Vidar Kim, or, in a quote from Darth Plagueis, "His sentiments have made him a liability. More important, his death will allow us to position where you've longed to be." And this is where Plagueis plots to have Sidious replace Senator Kim. In 52 years before the Battle of Yavin, Plagueis attended the meeting on the Outer Rim world of Sereno, hosted by Count Vermick. Also present at that meeting was a small group of Jedi: Jocasta Nu, Sifo Dyas, Zafmir, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Dooku. After hours of talk, a brief recess was called for. Plagueis took the opportunity to speak with the Jedi, engaging in a heated debate with Jinn. To Sifo Dyas and Dooku, he spoke of impending conflict for the Republic in the future. He was about to tell Sifo Dyas about the cloners on Kamino that could clone an army for the Republic, but he decided against it. A short while later in Coruscant, Plagueis introduced Dooku and Sifo Dyas to his apprentice, Sidious, prior to the latter's address to the Senate. And now on to the first attempt. Again in 52 years before the Battle of Yavin, while attending Lars Hill's Order of the Canted Circle, investiture ceremony in the Order's Fobozu Lodge, Darth Plagueis was nearly killed by Maladin assassins in a hit ordered by Pax Team and Santh Security. Maladian. The Maladian attack was preceded by Palpatine's kidnapping by members of Santh Security, which Damask had made sure would occur by acknowledging his apprentice as an acquaintance in public with Team as a witness. As Plagueis focused his efforts to foil the kidnapping attempt and use it to locate Team, he was not aware that a second attack had been planned against him. Hestage was contacted by Maladians with the information and immediately notified Sidious. The two arrived at the Fobozu Lodge as Plagueis, merely injured and barely holding himself conscious, was lashing out with the dark side against his attackers. All the others, including the Moons who'd made up Damask Holdings, had been killed. Hill was the first victim of the attack, his head sliced from his neck. Afterwards, Sidious personally executed Team and many other members of the Grand Protectorate in the Malastare Embassy. The police were unable to find any culprits behind either incident, even though the Senate Investigatory Committee formed a special task force to look into the matter in the wake of Senator Kim's assassination. Damask Holdings was not reformed, and Higo Damask II retreated from the affairs of the galaxy, with some believing him dead. He would still continue business with the banking clan, all the while grooming the late Lars Hill's son, San, to become the next chairman. Now on to the Scholar of the Midichlorians. Or, in a quote here, "Everything done here has been for a single purpose, to extend our reign indefinitely." And this is from Darth Plagueis to Darth Sidious, referring to Abara. Darth Plagueis had survived the Maladian attack with grievous injuries. A considerable part of his lower face had been taken off by a decapitated disc that had also severed his trachea and several blood vessels. In order to survive, the Dark Lord had been forced to wear a type of transpirator which covered his face below the nose. One standard month after the attack, Plagueis summoned Sidious to Abara to reveal the true nature of his studies and experiments to his apprentice. For the next 20 years, Damask lived in an eremitic life in his laboratory, devoting all of his energy to the study of the midichlorians, while Palpatine devoted himself to the political machinations that the last stages of the Grand Plan entailed. Additionally, Sidious began training his own apprentice, Darth Maul, under Plagueis' watchful eye. The Moon found the Dathomirian Zabrak to be useful to the Sith since he had been brought into Sidious's hands by his mother as a baby. and now to tipping the scales. Or, in a quote here from Darth Plagueis, to say that the Force works in mysterious ways is to admit one's ignorance. For any mystery can be solved through the application of knowledge and unrelenting effort. As we had our way with the Senate, and as we will soon have our way with the Republic and the Jedi, we will have our way with the Force. Around the year 42 years before the Battle of Yavin, Darth Plagueis finally took Darth Venomous' life. He then resurrected him and killed him again, repeating the process until the Bith's organs gave out, and he finally died. Both Sidious and 114D were present. Sidious and Plagueis then entered a meditative trance and managed to tip the scales of balance in the favor of darkness. Plagueis attempted to go one step further and attempted to create life by mentally reaching out to the inhabitants of the galaxy, but he was, by his own estimate, ultimately unsuccessful. Immediately afterwards, his test subjects succumbed to various diseases, and he set most of the survivors free. Some of the animals he had experimented on adapted to the Force of Sojourn. Plagueis had developed a theory that the Force was actively opposed to the Sith's efforts, and saw each setback in this light. And now for the second assassination attempt. Plagueis and 114D narrowly survived the nuclear bombardment of Sojourn after King Ars Baruna attempted to have him eliminated with the aid of the Black Sun. South Mayor. Fortunately, Plagueis was intercepted by Jabba the Hutt in his personal ship, Star Jewel. Plagueis then got in contact with a terrified Varuna. And now to the murder of King Varuna. When Varuna went into hiding in the western reaches of Naboo, he was discovered by Darth Plagueis and Sidious, who enacted a plan to kill him in retribution for the failed assassination attempt. Sidious suggested that they send Darth Maul to kill him, but Plagueis wished to attend to Varuna personally. Plagueis traveled to the western ranges of Naboo with his droid 114D and silently broke into Varuna's bedroom, waking the old man. Sitting across from him, Plagueis held Varuna in a force choke, preventing him from calling his security chief, Maris Magneto, for help. He confessed to have been behind T'Polo and Varuna's ascension to the throne, and divulged his allegiance to the Sith, terrifying Varuna. At the same time, he manipulated the limited amount of midichlorians in Varuna, slowly killing him. The former king pleaded Plagueis to spare him, so that he could be of further use to the moon. But Plagueis insisted that Varuna already was helpful by dying, which increased his power. Varuna's death was, in fact, a means to get the Neimoidians angered enough to attempt to invade Naboo, as per the grand plan, as well as revenge for the second assassination attempt on his life. And now we move on to the invasion of Naboo. Or in a quote here, "Are we undone? Have you undone us?" And this is from Darth Plagueis' thoughts on Anakin Skywalker being considered for Jedi training. As Palpatine's star rose in the Coruscant political scene, Plagueis carried on his research. And by 34 years before the Battle of Yavin, he believed he was close to a breakthrough that would save himself and his apprentice from death. During the Naboo crisis of 32 years before the Battle of Yavin, Plagueis and Palpatine became aware of Anakin Skywalker, human slave from Tatooine who stood at a convergence in the Force, and who had been born around the same time that they had saturated the galaxy with the dark side. Palpatine informed his master of the boy's arrival in Coruscant, and Plagueis decided to try to meet the boy for himself. He was able to gain access to Palpatine's suite, where Anakin was staying, by using a mind trick on one of the Queen's handmaidens, who nevertheless informed Damask that he had just missed the boy. For the first time, Plagueis began to fear that the Sith were in danger of being undone, and indeed held himself responsible, as he interpreted Skywalker's creation as the Force striking back at him and Sidious. He had previously boasted about being able to create the Chosen One of Jedi prophecy, as his master had expected of him. Now, he made it his priority to stop the boy from falling into the hands of the Jedi. As Plagueis spied on the departure of the Jedi and the Queen from Coruscant so as to catch a new glimpse of the boy, he received a vision of a cyborg clad in dark armor and a dark helmet, which told him that this boy would change the course of history in the galaxy. Not wanting the Jedi to train him, he planned to have Darth Maul kill Qui-Gon so as to prevent it. And now we move on to the second meeting with Cypher Dyas. A short time later, a gathering was hosted by Supreme Chancellor Finis Valorum on Coruscant. Cypher Dyas was in attendance alongside Jedi Yoda, Mace Windu, Adagalia, and Jorush J'baoth. With the galaxy seemingly on the brink of civil war, Cypher concerns had become all the more urgent, and the Jedi Council was apparently no more willing to listen than it had been. As such, Plagueis preyed on the Jedi's fears, convincing him that a military capable of defending the Republic needed to be created now, while there was still a chance. Once again, Plagueis approached Cypher and once more he openly admitted that a growing darkness was approaching, as he stated to the Jedi 20 years before on Sereno. Cypher agreed to Plagueis' claim, and Plagueis informed him of the cloners on Camino that could grow an army and hold it in reserve until it was needed. The Jedi Master was at first skeptical of this, but was persuaded to think about it. Following the Battle of Theed, Dooku resigned from the Jedi Order and later fell to the dark side of the Force and became the apprentice of Darth Sidious. It was at this time that Cypher approached the Kaminoans and requested a clone army for the Republic. With the funds provided by Damask Holdings, Cypher paid the Kaminoans. But little did he know that Sidious and Dooku had learned of this and ensured the steps to his demise. And this concludes Part 3 of Darth Plagueis. Next week, we pick it up with the murder of Darth Plagueis. And as always, I wish to say thank you to the Wikipedia, StarWars.com, TheForce.net, and other Star Wars lore sites that are out there. Folks, if you enjoy the Star Wars lore and history as much as I do, please visit these sites, look up your topics, and enjoy.
Alright, so then that takes us into the Community Holo feed, which is significantly more exciting this week. Where first up is the Trivia Question of the Week, where each week we're going to post a trivia question into our YouTube video version of the show. Simply go to StarWarsBeyond.com and we'll link you right to the episode. On the episode page, there will be a button you press to see the Trivia Question of the Week. Alternatively, it will always be after we say our goodbyes. Then shoot us an email with your answer to StarWarsBeyond@gmail.com. In the email include character name, faction, and server. If there's more than one correct answer, we'll do a random drawing to win a cartel pack. Everyone that answers correctly will be entered into a drawing for a much larger prize, which we'll draw on the show every few months. You can be entered into the grand prize drawing every time that you answer correctly. And Lou, who was your winner this week?
This week's winner is Mike T, a.k.a. T'Chak.
Alright, cartel pack coming your way.
That's right. And for those of you who may not have guessed correctly, the answer to last week's trivia question is... dramatic Holland drum roll. It's the planet Fondor and its shipyards. Okay? It's one of the clues I mentioned here. It, like Kawat Drive Yards, was famous for its extensive orbital shipyards. Okay? And KDY was only one of the few enterprises that actually outclassed Fondor. Alright? Even though it was not in the core part of the galaxy, because Fondor was so old, and because it had its industrial base for so long, and it was, very wealthy, its people were regarded, people would automatically assume that Fondor was a core world, and held and gave it that amount of power and prestige amongst galactic politics. Okay? And Fondor, okay, when Sidious actually did create the first galactic empire, alright, Fondor was one of the few corporations and industries to openly defy the Empire from the get-go. Okay, it wasn't until Sidious took the Imperial Army and Imperial Navy there and took Fondor over by force and kept a permanent garrison there before Fondor would actually start creating armaments for the Empire. Alright, so a lot of people think, when Palpatine took over, it was a wide sweeping gesture, grand gesture. No, obviously, the first initial years, Palpatine, Sidious and Vader had to actually crush open acts of defiance like this, and Fondor was one of its prime examples to where they took something like KDY. Like, imagine KDY and Corellia openly defying the Empire. Okay, that's the scale that Fondor was. They actually had to go in there and take it back from Fondor, and then force them at gunpoint to work for them. Alright, so again, for all of you who participated, thank you. Please try again. Send us your answers. Because, as we see here, as we're going to do in a couple minutes, every time you do answer correctly, even though you may not win that particular week, you get entered into the grand drawing. So as many times as you answer correctly, that's as many chances you get, or as many spots as you get, when we do the grand drawing.
Actually, we're changing this going forward.
Okay.
To the benefit of our listeners, from now on, for the next contest round at least, it's going to work like this. When you enter with a guess, if it is a serious guess and you're not just trying to troll us, which we'll be the judges of that, we reserve the rights to dictate that. If you try to guess the trivia question correctly, just an attempt, even if you're not correct, you would get one entry into the drawing. If you answer correctly, even if you're not the winner for that week, you would get 2 entries. Because as we look at this prize pool of participants here, we notice that it's a lot of the same people. Because there's some people out there that really know their trivia, or other people are afraid to take a crack at it. And we want to get the participation up. So please enter the Lore Masters Trivia Question of the Week. You can win prizes from it. It's not always going to be a Hyper Crate. Last time, Robbie S. won a prize from our store. This time it's a Hyper Crate. Who knows what it'll be next time?
Treats poop.
Not that. The prizes are dictated based on participation, and the bigger the pool gets, the more valuable the prizes get.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the more people that participate, obviously we're going to reward that. Okay, so don't be afraid. Take a chance and enter. We always look forward to seeing the answers and see what people think. And as always, I'm always welcome feedback. If you think I'm too vague, let me know. If I'm too hard, again, let me know, and I will definitely. I'm all for making it fair and balanced so that everyone has a good shot at getting the answer. And now, as you've heard from Fred, even if you don't win that particular week, every time you enter, every time you try an answer, you're going to get an entry. And tonight, we're giving away Hypercrate. So join us. Join the Trivia Madness.
Yeah, I mean, if you give us feedback and you say that it's too vague, you can't guess the answer based on the clues you're given, maybe we'll throw out another clue or two on Facebook.
Right, exactly. And I believe, we mentioned in the past, if people find that particular question too hard, let us know. And I'll always, I will shoot out extra clues out, whether on Twitter, Facebook, or both. I'll post them there. That way people have more information to work with.
And I know that most people consume the show in the audio format, but the trivia question is on our YouTube page, where if you just pull up the video, which if you go to our website, StarWarsBeyond.com, the video is linked right in the post for the show. You just click on the video, and there's a button right on the left-hand side once the actual show starts, where you can click it and hear the trivia question. You don't need to watch the whole video. You don't need to bounce around and look for it. We bookmark it right for you. You click that, you can hear the trivia question. If you need to hear it again, just press the button again. It'll start back from the beginning of the trivia question. This is an open book test. You have the whole internet. That's all we got on that, though. I think it's time that we pick the winner for the second round of the Lore Masters Trivia Question of the Week, which, if you guys haven't figured out by now, we pick the winner every 20 episodes.
Exactly. And, the winner is picked randomly, so I will now...
There are 36 entries in the pool this time.
Okay. And
number between 1 and 36.
Yes, 1 and 36. And I go to random.org. All right, you see if you go to that site, you will see the true random number generator, and I set the parameters and I let them do it. So, 1 to 36. That is what I have input in the true random number generator. I will now generate the new number. Dun, dun. And the number is 10. 1, 0.
And that is...
a Shinra.
Hey, is that... No.
Huh?
I'm not going to ask. I don't want to sound stupid.
Well, I am right now looking at further contact details. That is Lou Gree.
Yay!
Otherwise known as Mater Rex, I believe. Twitter.
Is that Mater? That's what I was going to ask, but I don't
Toe
want to sound
Mater.
stupid.
Sorry. Tomater.
Yep.
Oh my god. Lou. Tomato. Is that Mater Rex for real?
Yes, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. You're the winner.
Congratulations.
You're the winner of a Hypercrate. But here's the catch. You have to listen to the show and you have to email us. Tell us the name of the character that you want the prize on and what server and what faction. And we will get in touch with you and send that over to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just so.
And just for that fine print details, you have 2 show cycles to get back to us with that. If we don't hear back from you in 2 weeks, we will draw another winner.
Hope you're not laying in a hospital bed or something. What?
Or on vacation somewhere. What?
Med bay. Hope you're not frozen in carbonite. What?
In which case, Lion Eagle will be saying, "Oh, I've thawed you out. Unfortunately, what happened?"
You've lost your hypercrate. I do sound like Austin Powers. I'm from the South. I don't know.
But just because I'm in a particularly generous mood tonight, as we look through our list of entries here, one person has entered into this contest more than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to give out a second prize this time.
What?
Which will be, drumroll please.
This one is going to go to Chuck, a.k.a. Mike T. Thank you very much for participating in the trivia question of the week. You've entered almost every single week that we've done this. And more often than not, you're correct with your answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we're going to give you as your runner-up prize, if you will, is any item off of our Star Wars Beyond web store up to $20. Send us an email, let us know what you want and where to send it. Sound excited, guys.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm like, wow, okay.
I mean,
can I get into that?
I'm shocked that we did that. But my only concern is, what if Mater Rex wants an item from the store rather than a hypercrate?
That wasn't the grand prize.
Okay, well, I'm just...
The hypercrate is roughly a $40 value.
Okay. Whatever you guys say.
See, that's how it works. We change the prize every time. That's encouragement to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike T just got an extra prize this time because, I mean, look at how many entries he has in here. This guy's been triviaing his ass off.
You can't say the A word on this show.
Yes, we can. That's one of our allowed words.
Oh my god, ass. I feel better.
So, congratulations to Ashinra, a.k.a. Mater Rex, and to Mike T, a.k.a. to Chuck.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you so much for participating. And we hope to see you have plenty of entries in the next 20 rounds.
Keep it up, guys.
Yep. And to everyone else who's listening, hey, come on, look.
This
look
could be
across-
you.
Yeah, this could be you. Just like in the Stronghold trailer that you see when you hit the little object in the fleet. Tired of this. This could be you. Do it now.
That's right. Okay. So then now it is time for us to move into what's going on in our SWTOR community page.
Boom, boom. You can check out our fellow SWTOR podcasts. Most of them are available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at SWTORnetwork.com. There's Corellian Run Radio at CorellianRun.com, UntiniCast at UntiniCast.com, SWTOR Skate Podcast is at NewOverlords.com, The Usual Podcast is at TheUsualPodcast.com, Kepis Cast is at Tor Community, Old Republic Radio and Healing SWTOR on iTunes, and the Bad Feeling Podcast is at BadFeelingPodcast.com. Be warned, that's an explicit podcast. Also follow Madmar, a SWTOR family, for the latest happenings in the SWTOR community. If you'd like to have your podcast listed on this segment, send us an email at StarWarsBeyond@gmail.com. And also, the GDC Episode 7 was released at GalacticGamersCoalition.com I was there. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row for you.
That's right. Do I want a prize?
The prize is that we still have a GGC. But seriously, everybody, you should be following the GGC on Twitter if you don't already. That's at SWTORGGC. It's a Galactic Gamers Coalition where a whole bunch of podcasters in the SWTOR community get together and podcast. Last episode actually had SWTOR Miner on there, and he gave a little bit of insight about the Togruta and how they're made. And now I'm going to tell you one last time how you can get a hold of us. You can find out more about the show at StarWarsBeyond.com. You can like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/StarWarsBeyondPodcast. You can send us an email to StarWarsBeyond@gmail.com. The show is at Star Wars Beyond. I am at Sith Lord Corv. Lou is at GamerGuy11B, and Paige is at Asa Fiery. And now it's time for our final thoughts.
My final thought is I'm glad I'm out of the trash compacting room with you guys, because that was stinky. More stinky than it normally is just being around you, Corv. But no, I'm really looking forward to making my Togruta on Tuesday. I can't wait to get in there and play with some of the customizations and see what they've made available, because we had made some remarks before that maybe they wouldn't have a lot of customizable options, that they'd all look like Ashara, LOL. But I am looking forward to going in there and playing and making my Togruta into whatever she ends up being. I don't know, because I haven't had a chance to play with it yet.
And as for me, again, looking forward to seeing, obviously, the new species released this coming Tuesday. I am also looking forward to, or not really looking forward to, how many Ahsoka Tano's I see on the fleet. On both factions. How many Togruta Marauders or Sentinels can we find on the fleet, folks? But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Plus, I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now, especially with that comment from the combat team saying, hey, they're actually looking for feedback. I hope as the weeks come up that more and more of the devs will be asking for and receive from player base, feedback, active feedback from both sides, so that we can continually improve this game. All right, we're looking forward to new content and this next step to where now we have the devs asking us more and more for feedback. I'm liking where this is going, and I think this only means good things going forward.
Definitely. And I'm looking forward to the Togruta the most right now, to be honest, because I've been wanting that new species for a while. And I don't mean necessarily the Togruta. I mean, I've been wanting a new species for a long time, and pretty much any species they add at this point I'm going to play.
Although he wants a Cellcath, folks.
As a companion. I don't want to play a Cellcath. I want to play an Ithorian, just like in Galaxies. God rest its soul.
Hey, you know what? Come on, if they can do the Togruta Ithorians, or at least Rhodians, they're new human.
I think Nautilin will be next, because they said that thing about head specifically.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's what I expect next. Or possibly Rhodian, now that they have a lot of basic-speaking Rhodians out there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Beyond the Stars is an independently recorded fan podcast made in association with NSG Productions, and now it's time to say goodnight.
Good night, everybody, from the cockpit of the Crimson Sea Biscuit Hawk.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. See you all again next time.
Good night, everybody. Remember to contact us if you want a prize to claim it.
You've served your purpose.
Beyond the Stars trivia question for the week of July 15th, 2015. First clue. Born just before the fall of the Republic, I would enlist in the Imperial Army when I was old enough. Second clue. Ruthless, innovative, and daring, I would be given command of my own unit for unconventional warfare. Third clue. Over time, my conscience would drive me to leave and join the Alliance. Fourth clue. My tactics would mold Alliance Special Forces operations during the Galactic Civil War and into the times of the New Republic. Fifth clue. I would meet my end at the hand of a syndicate crime lord who was in league with the Empire. Who am I? And folks, please send your responses to StarWarsBeyond@gmail.com. And in your email, please include your character name, what faction you're in, and the server you play on. And please include the faction you're in. Good luck, everyone. Looking forward to seeing your answers.